Hello, my name is swissbianco. In this video I will talk about the Victorinox scissor spring kit. As we see in front of the camera, there are minimum two different versions of that kit that they did make over the years. The one on the bottom is a bit older than this one that we just got in. So we look at the details, at the differences as well. Both of them come in a regular cardboard box. They are actually pretty nice made with wood boxes. So we see the parts come in nice wood boxes. The size is pretty much the same. Of course the wood has a bit of different pattern, and we see on top the printing is different. So it's a traditional made wood box. We see here the details of the box, how it is cut out and glued together. Makes for a really nice box. On the back side the press in hinges. On the bottom there is no rubber or anything, it's just a simple wood box, and with this one it's pretty much the same style, the same hinges. And as we open the hinge we see what is in there, the kit. And there we already see the differences. Actually, my one came with the papers as well, so there was no change at all. It's just the interior that looks a bit different. As we see here, by the older one, it was simply covered up with a cardboard. The two different compartments. By the newer one we see they used a clear see-through plastic part that you can lift off and put back on to keep the parts in place. Also how it looks is it comes with a bit less springs in it. So the compartments and the tools are the same. We basically have the main tool what we need for change the spring. We see it clamps down to hold the part, and the foot has a bit of felt on it, so it's not gonna slide off too easy. Those parts had no change from the new to the old one. It's basically the same version, and it's nice milled out of solid steel. Victorinox make a lot of their tools themselves in-house. This is one of it. The main deal for this kit is to replace the scissors, the spring of the scissor. This knife here is a Yeoman, and we see the 91mm scissor has quite a spring, so many times the spring is either bended overly or broken, because it's just a flat spring, and yeah, that can happen. It's less durable than the Wenger Swiss Army knife spring, which was a part of the actual spring that did hold the tool inside. It's a completely different construction, but I still like the Victorinox part better. It's in my opinion the better scissor for cutting material. So yeah, in my use I never had a broken spring. As I get used Swiss Army knives, sometimes the spring is worn out or broken and then I need to replace them. So we have basically two sizes of them, the 91mm Yeoman that I showed, and here we have a 58mm Alox Mini Champ that has of course a different spring in it, a smaller spring, and by the smaller Swiss Army knives there many times the spring is a bit damaged, the classic Swiss Army knife and all that. If you get them used, that is for me more of a problem than the 91mm. So that's the two basic styles that we have, and of course we see the different springs they have. Now the problem is, hope I can show that. The problem is basically this part here that you, yes, the camera see that, the part here needs to be pressed out to take out the spring, and then you need to press in the new spring, the replacement, back in, and that is pretty much all what it is. It's basically like a specialized punch that you can put it in and out, and as we see here already, yes, there are different spring versions. See if I need to use that one. There is different spring versions on the knives, so you need to look what you have. This one is more bended round, this one has more like a dimple. The dimple ones are the newer versions, so basically the dimple, I took it out, it goes back into that groove that is here by the scissors, in the scissor part. And there in the past there were models that did not have that groove, so you have a bit of different spring. The main reason is for the groove that the spring stays in the moving part of the scissor better. If there would be no groove, it can happen that the spring gets out like I simulate here, and then it would get bended overly in a wrong way. So that's all what it is, but usually that should not happen. Yeah, as a sample I can show it on the 58mm. If we see here, there is no groove in it and it's plain simple flat. Yeah, as we look at it that way, we see here it's flat, so that works just as a flat way to press on it. Then of course we have some screws also. We have different, that is a difference we see on the newer one. There are no screws anymore. By the older kit we have different screws. So on, yeah, both of those, let's see, here we have one. On the older ones they were screwed. The black one is just my work knife in the shop. So we see the newer ones are plainly riveted in. The older ones had actually a screw, so you could tighten and loosen it up. And yes, actually this is pretty good sample that I grabbed that one. We see here on the shop knife, that is the old style where it is flat and there is no cutout, no groove in the top part, compared to the brand new Yeoman. We see, hopefully the camera see that pretty well with the new groove, and the older without it. So there is a difference on the spring as well. So that's about that. But the older ones are pretty much gone. If you buy a used knife, you may get that, but newer ones, they use that for a long time by now. Then we have the tools here. We see tools are still the same. The punch to remove the parts. There is different parts. Punches also a bit like a reamer in case you need to ream it. Angle it a bit that you can put in the new spring easier. So that's about that. Then we have a green part and a red part. Both of those are still the same. Basically a nice aluminum part for mounting and dismounting. The green one is montage for mounting the different, and the demontage on the other side for the other sizes. And we have same with the red one for the different sizes. We need to look a bit that it won't rust. It's pretty humid in North Georgia, so that could be a problem. I need to grease it up a bit. So really nice made with a nice handle, nice engraved with a Fontograph, gravograph machine, really nicely done, that kit. And if you need to change the spring, don't try it at home. If you don't have the correct tools, better send it to the warranty station. Victorinox has a great warranty, so that shouldn't be much of a problem in whatever country you are. As the last point, we're gonna quick check the manual, how that looks here. We see it comes in English, Dutch and French, and you can stop the video if you wanna have a closer look at it. Maybe one day I'm gonna make a video that I change directly spring. As I say, it's not gonna happen too frequent here, so I hardly use those kits at all because the quality of the spring is pretty good. So that much about the manual that comes with each kit. The kit is regular available if you would like to have one for collection. That is not the problem. And the price is relatively high because it's solid made, and the numbering, the workmanship, but it's a collectible too. That's pretty much why I got it. Other than using it, it's a pretty good example of a old-fashioned Swiss workmanship with a great quality. So that much about the scissor spring kit from Victorinox.